Hi guys, welcome back. So the Springboks do it, 27 points to 9. They set up the showdown next week in that third test. It will be an absolute thriller. Let's get into the game and I'll let you know what I think, and then I'll be back later with a video on the breakdown of the players and then selections. So the first half is pretty even, to be honest. The quality is a lot higher than compared to the first half in the first test. We have an early 10-metre maul, descends into a nice scuffle. We had a few scuffles earlier on, and it was slow, it was tense, and that's pretty much how it stayed for the whole of the game. In the first half, the ref clearly had listened to Rassie Erasmus's video, and they were affected. I wouldn't say there was anything unfair, but he was definitely desperate to be to set the tone and also be consistent and also be respectful as well. So to say that coaches don't influence refs and TMOs, well, they definitely do. It'll be interesting to see if either coach does something next week, but I don't think it affected the outcome, certainly. But clearly the officials were on edge and they had plenty to do. Anyway, there's some excellent attack versus defence, with the Lions' defence looking really good. The Springboks are looking really charged up. An unnecessary offside gives them a 3-0 start, but it's high quality. It's a good tight test match. The Lions even it up. The first time into the 22, they go straight to the high bomb. And my goodness me, if it doesn't work, just kick and kick again from both sides. Lions not trying to play anything fancy, neither the Springboks. After a few good phases, up goes the high bomb. They actually get a line out off LaRue, and they win the high ball battle in the main in this first half, and definitely not in the second. Anyway, SA actually have a slight edge in the scrum, but then a no-arms tackle from Wiese evens the game up 3-3. Wiese, not a very good game, to be honest. I'd be amazed if he starts next week. There could be a bit of a selection issue for the Springboks. Obviously, Vermeulen might be back, which would really help. If he is back, he's definitely going to start. Pieter-Steph du Toit off injured. We'll see what happens. But yeah, if Vermeulen is back, he is so straight back in. Anyway, both sides evenly matched. Really good restart gather from Mapimpi on 10 minutes. And Pieter-Steph du Toit and Colby are hanging out wide. Well, obviously, Colby's hanging out wide, but Pieter-Steph du Toit hanging out wide like he normally does, feeding Colby, causing danger. But the Lions D is good. They're pushing South Africa slowly back. They force a penalty. They clear. It's good stuff. It's good quality rugby. And the Lions are starting to edge the penalty count, and it's really helping them to gain easy ground, because both sides, neither side, were making a lot of ground running the ball. So it was either penalties or kicks that were getting ground. Tidy line-out work from Itoje and Laws, some good carries. They had a good first half again, and the Lions made a real mess of the Springbok line-out, and their own line-out was really good. So that was a real strength in this first half. That leads to a penalty, 6-3, they take the lead. But my goodness me, the Springbok midfield are so physical on the chase and on the contact. They win a penalty. It should be 6-all, but a nasty hook from Pollard, and his kicking to goal wasn't that great again. So that is a bit of a concern. Obviously, didn't affect the result, but he certainly missed a few kicks that he should have made. Anyway, on 20 minutes, unbelievable hold-up tackle and rip from Laws. Again, he had a great first half. And the Lions, they're going through tight phases, they're making ground, and then the first choice, once they get in the 22, is the high ball. There's no tries resulted from this. They needed some success from this, but they weren't getting it. But they are pinning South Africa back. But then, real problems. Pieter-Steph du Toit goes off. The world's best forward going off is never good, so that's a big blow. The South Africans get a scrum penalty, and it's been coming, to be honest. They clear the pressure. They never get full dominance, but certainly at times in that first half they were getting the nudge. And they actually try and move the ball wide from an off the top line out, but they muck it up. But then Van der Merwe does a really silly trip on Colby. And, what is he doing? It's a yellow card for Van der Merwe, and it really is the beginning of a pretty shocking game for Van der Merwe and the whole back three. But that was a big error. On 23 minutes, a really good line-out steal from Itoje, looking very dangerous. But it's catching. It's Colby's turn to actually make a bit of an error this time. He takes out Murray dangerously in the air. So yellow card to Colby, and another lovely big scuffle, handbags. No one can do anything, obviously, because of all the cameras on them. So it's a bit of a waste of time. But anyway, entertaining. The refs might have wanted a quiet night, but they just aren't getting it. Lots of things to review, so yellow card both sides. And at the moment, the line out from the Lions is functioning really, really well. Good tight maul, but still they're not looking to play high ball in the 22, but too long. It's a shame neither side actually attacks, excitingly, ball in hand in the 22, but, they're there to win. That's how they think they're going to win. And again, 5 minutes later, amazing Itoje steal from the line out, but then Cragger Smith rips it to stop a very dangerous attack. On 30 minutes, a bad decision from Hogg. He goes down a blind alley rather than passing the ball inside. Mapimpi with a great jackal evens up 6-all. But then it's de Klerk's turn to make a mistake. Poor clearance kick. Lions get phases in the 22, leads to a penalty. They go to a 5-metre line out. But brilliant read from Mostert. He slaps it back nicely. Very unlucky because the ball actually travels back over the line and Itoje pushes the guy over the line. So scrum 5 to the Lions. They grind, pick and go, force a penalty. Murray pops the advantage. A little kick it with the advantage over the top. Henshaw looks like he might have ground it. TMO review, they don't give the try initially. TMO review, is there enough evidence to give the try? No, there's not. If it was given as a try, probably not enough evidence to overturn it either. So a couple of 50-50s went against the Lions. I don't disagree with the decisions because of what was given on the pitch before the TMO. But de Klerk goes for one of his no-arm shots, which he does sometimes, which is a shame for South Africa. So they go down at half-time, 9 points to 6 to the Lions. It's tight, it's tactical. The Lions are edging it, but really they needed some more points for a decent half for them, and Pollard's miss is costly, could have been level easily. So the second half starts, anyone's game, but Hogg starts, with a really bad drop from a high ball, and then a penalty from the scrum from Furlong. Good maul rumble from South Africa, the inevitable high bomb, and unfortunately inevitable Hogg fumble in the second half. Causes a try eventually with a Pollard crossfield kick to Mapimpi. Really good try there, taking advantage of the tight defence. And another bad Pollard miss, so only 2 points in it, but a bit of a shocking start for the Lions. And really that try just came from 2 errors from Hogg, really. And it looks like it's a game of who makes the least errors, and well, the Lions make an awful lot in the second half. Now the drops are really catching in the second half, with Jasper Wiese dropping an easy kick-off return. And good goodness me, the game is slow, but South Africa won't mind because they're racking up the points. But it's Smith's turn to give away a penalty a bit too late on the turnover. Should have been slotted by Biggar, but he hits the post, so that's a big miss because they could have obviously gone ahead. And the South Africans are slowly turning up the physical pressure, really contesting the ruck hard, making Murray's life very hard and slow, in just giving them no choice apart from to kick when there's no real momentum. South Africa are trying to leave the ball in the scrum, no interest in playing it. They don't quite get the dominance they need just yet, not until the subs come on. But it's in for too long for the ref. He needs the ball being played, so he gives a free kick. So not quite working yet in the scrum for South Africa. Lions go back to the high ball on 55 minutes. It's the same as the first half. They are just not getting the breaks. But, they're persisting. Hogg and van der Merwe having a really poor high ball game, as is Watson. But on 56 minutes, both teams ring the changes, and it is the South Africans that make the biggest impact, particularly Unikani in the front row, who was an absolute monster. Really good in the first test. I'm amazed he didn't start in this game. Surely he is going to start in the final test. Now, unfortunately, the next try for South Africa is from another Hogg error. Tries tapping the ball back in play, which you can't do anymore. Gives the line out away. And then there's a chip over the top. Does Am ground the ball? It looks 50-50, but because the try is given on the pitch, is there enough evidence to overturn it? Well, maybe, maybe not. Again, one of those tight calls. Went against the Lions, so it's 18 points to 9 against the Springboks. Looking really good now with that 9-point lead. A few minutes later, more high ball errors from Hogg. I mean, it really is shocking at the moment. The kicks, they're just giving the ball back to South Africa. They can't get anywhere. And South Africa just happy to kick the ball back. sit on possession, sit on the lead even, why not? Faf de Klerk goes off injured on 63 minutes. Could be a problem next week, but obviously doesn't affect them this week. And the Lions just need to execute some quality somewhere. Can't do it. Sutherland comes on. Immediately 2 costly errors. Bit of a shocking subs appearance here for Sutherland. Story of the half for the Lions. Discipline is killing them. Hogg, Watson, van der Merwe having a bit of a shocker. Then a huge scrum penalty for Unikane. Really good stuff. No way back for the Lions, I'm thinking at this point. Finally, on 72 minutes, the Lions get the first decent bit of phase attack in the second half, but a brilliant jackal penalty from Malcolm Marks. Win the ball back, it's just all over. Maul it tight, put up the bomb, and of course the Lions lose the high ball. Another scrum, Sutherland gets folded up in the scrum. It's really going south for the Lions. Their subs not making the impact the South Africans are. The Lions are desperate now, forced to play wide, but South Africa eat that stuff up all day long. Rush defence just smashing it. Win a penalty. 27-9. Game over. So, the Lions lost that second half 21 points to 0. Ouch. From such a tight, controlled first half when they were winning a lot of those high ball battles. Really good set piece to real disintegration in that second half. Not good. South Africans didn't change their game plan. They just did it a lot better. Physicality stepped up. High ball game stepped up. Especially the kicks were right on the money and the pressure was right on Hogg and Watson and van der Merwe, and they were making the errors because of it. The subs made a big impact. Mostert and Nkane, like I said, really good. In the first half, Itoje Laws looked really good again, but no impact from the Lions subs. So anyway, it's on. Third test showdown. A few injury worries for South Africa. Back row wise, de Klerk maybe. Does Vermeulen come back in? I'll be back tomorrow with another video ranking the players. Also making some selections for that final showdown third test. But love to know what you guys thought of this test. Who stood out? Who had shockers? Selections? All that sort of good stuff. And I'll catch you next time.